let's knock this shit out. Because if I end up getting in trouble for this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Leah, and I'm back with another video. Today, I have an interesting story time for y'all. I've been debating whether or not to do it, but I was kind of like, the views, fuck it, whatever, it happened, it's the truth, what's tea? So today I'm doing a story time on how I had sex with a famous rapper. For the sake of his identity, I'm not going to say his name. The people that I personally told about this story, they know who it is. I didn't hide it because I didn't feel like I felt the need to, but since I'm putting this on YouTube, he will not be named. Okay, maybe I'll throw in some clues here or there, maybe I can connect the dots, find out who it is on their own, but for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to do too much talking, I just want to get right into this video, so let's get this story time started. This rapper, he is a LA based West Coast rapper. He's pretty famous right now. I met him about 2 years ago, back in like 2017. When I first saw him, I was at a football game. And I was with my friends. We were walking from the home to visitor side back to back. And I ended up seeing this guy that I recognized because he was friends with my older sister. And he had his friend with him, and I saw the friend and I was like, oh, who's that? He's cute. You know, he was a little cute little thing, you know, he was tall, had his little gray sweats on, you know, killing these niggas. Okay, so I was like, that boy's cute. So I went home later that night. I told my sister who I saw, and she was like, oh, was he tall? Was he this? Was he that? She was pretty much describing his looks, and I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I'm gonna give the rapper guy a name. I'm gonna just name him Rick. She was like, oh, that's Rick. And I was like, well, Rick is cute. Time passes, and I ended up going to another football game. I went with some friends to a football game, and I ended up meeting these other group of girls that night. They were friends with this girl that I knew, so it wasn't like nothing weird. And I ended up chilling with them instead. So we were really feeling the game, we were kind of bored, so we decided to leave early. So we were walking out, I see Rick chilling outside the game on his phone. And I tell the girls, I was like, oh, that's the boy I saw at the other game. They're like, oh, for real? So we get into the car, and the girl in the driver's seat was like, hey, you in the blue hoodie, come over here. And Rick looks up and he's like, me? And she's like, yeah. So he comes up to the window, he's like leaning in the car, and she was like, we think you're attractive. And he was like, thank you. And she said, you're welcome. And so he's looking in the car, he's observing, and he sees me. I'm in the back seat, and he's like, so what are you about to get into tonight? I was like, nothing, I'm just gonna go home. And he was like, me and the homie are gonna go smoke, do you wanna come? I was like, no, I'm okay. So he gives me his Snapchat, and I go home. So I go home. A few days later, I tell my sister what happened, and she was like, that night when he asked you to smoke with him, I was there, so you would have been hanging out with me. I was like, it was kind of awkward. So I'm glad I didn't go. And pretty much a few months passed by, and I had just finished getting my hair done, and I posted a Snapchat picture of it. I'll post the picture somewhere so you guys can see the picture of me that I posted. So this is the picture I posted, and pretty much he swiped up on it, and he was like, hey, like, I think you're really cute, I was wondering if I could take you out sometime. And so I asked him, I was like, take me out where do you want to go, what do you want to do? And he was like, we can go anywhere you want to go. He was like, if you want to go to some movies, we can do that. If you want to go out to eat, we can do that. Like, anywhere you want to go, I'll take you. So I was like, all right, bet. So I decided to keep things cute and cool. Like, I decided that we could just go out to eat. So he picked me up one day and we went out to eat. And honestly, like, the first time, like, really, like, formally hanging out with him alone, like, I felt kind of awkward. I felt kind of weird. He kind of gave me, like, this, like, creeper vibe, like, not even gonna hold you. I don't know if he was high or something, but I don't know. I don't know, it just threw me off. So I was kind of like, I'm cool off him. Like, no. And so pretty much he dropped me off. And he was like, are we gonna hang out again? I was like, but I didn't really mean it. But little did I know. Some more times passed. Me and this girl that I used to be friends with, her name is irrelevant, so I'm not gonna give her a fake name. She invited me to this party. The party was being thrown by Stevie Wonder's son. So she asked me if I wanted to go. I said yes. So that night, there was a lot of stuff going on at home, like personal stuff that I'm not gonna talk about, but there was just a lot of stuff going on at home to where I just wanted to leave the situation. I wanted to just go out, have a good time, forget all my worries, and not have to deal with it. So we were like all the way in like downtown LA or like Hollywood or something, and we went to this party. It was an all black party. It was fun. I was drinking, dancing, partying, having the time of my life. So that night, Rick Snapchats me. He's like, hey, like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm at a party right now, but I'm not trying to go home. He was like, oh, after you're done, you can come link with me. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, where do you stay? And he was like, oh, I stay here in this area. I'm not gonna say the name of the area because everybody knows that he lived there, but he was like, oh, I live here. And you know, he lived in my city, so I knew exactly the location he was talking about. So I was like, bet, because I go there all the time. I used to go there with my friends after school in this one specific area. Everybody goes to this area. Everybody goes here. So I get dropped off at home. I change, whatever, and then I Uber to his location. So when I get there, I call him, I'm like, hey, I'm here. And then he's like, hey, I'm not there yet, but I left the back door open for you. You can just walk right in and go up the stairs, and my room is the first door that you see. So I was like, okay. So I walk in. You know, his place is pretty nice. Like, I don't know what to call it. It was an apartment, but it kind of looked like a townhouse type thing. I don't know. But I walk inside. I go up the stairs and I see the first room, open it. You know, it was just a normal room, nothing. He had a bed. I was sitting on his bed charging my phone, chilling, nervous as hell. I was nervous. So then I'm charging my phone, and about 20 minutes later, I see like the doorknob of his room door like turn, and then the door opens, and there he was, standing there, looking finer than a motherfucker. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was like, oh my god. He looked at me and he just gives me the sweetest smile. Like, he's like, what's up? I was like, oh, what's up? Hey. And then his friend walks in behind him. His friend's like, hey, what's good? I was like, hi. So pretty much how it was Rick, he was sitting at the bottom of his bed, like towards the edge. I was sitting more towards the top, you know, where a headboard would be, pretty much. And his friend was sitting on the floor right next to the door. So there was music playing. We were all talking, smoking. Everything was cool, you know. And pretty much his friend was like pretty much talking about me like I wasn't in the room. Like, he's like, hey bro, he's like, I need me a cute long hair, dark skin. And Rick was like, sorry bro, get your own, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. So his friend leaves the room. I don't know if he had his own room. I don't know if they're roommates or something, but I don't know. So pretty much after that, Rick closed the door and he was like, all right. He's like, it's time to cuddle. It's cuddle time. And pretty much he was like, if you want some clothes to like wear to like be more comfortable, like I'll give you some. So he gave me some clothes to wear so that I was like comfy or whatever. Pretty much we got up in the bed and we cuddled. We honestly did, we really did. And you know, everybody knows that cuddling leads to other things. So pretty much, long story short, we was cuddling for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, fuck cuddling, and we got down to business. We did our thing. We had the thing you call sex, all that and then some. So after all that happened, you know, we did our thing. Shit was lit. He falls asleep. And I personally felt like, you know, I'm not his girl or nothing. Like, I doubt he wants to see me when he wakes up in the morning. He fell asleep probably because he was like high as shit. So I didn't want to like be like, he wakes up and he's like, oh shit. So after he fell asleep, I waited for like a good like hour or two. So I made sure he was knocked out, and I got up and I left and I went back home. After a while, we didn't really talk like that. He tried to hang out again, but for some reason the plans never fell through. Either I was busy or he was busy, or we just never responded to each other back in time. So like, it was never like too much going on. And eventually we just kind of ghosted each other. Like, he kept following me, unfollowing me on Instagram and stuff. And I was like not feeling it. I was like, bro, for real. So pretty much I unfollowed him because I was like, you keep following me, unfollowing me, and like, I don't understand that. Like, I'm not about to be a part of that. So I unfollowed him, and of course he unfollowed me. And pretty much I never checked for him, nothing like that. I never checked for him, anything. And out of the blue, this dude blows the fuck up, and now he's this big LA West Coast rapper making all this money. All the girls are going crazy for this boy, and honestly, I'm not even salty. You know, there's nothing for me to be salty over. Like, I am so happy that he's getting recognized for his stuff, and he's a very nice guy. He's very sweet, and he deserves like all of it. Like, he deserves all of it. Like, I'm seeing like people co-signing him, people wanting to collaborate with him, people wanting to work with him, and honestly, I think that shit is really dope. That is my story on how I had sex with a famous rapper or whatever. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you guys figured out who he was, then you figured it out. I don't know, comment down below if you think you know, but if you don't, then it will just remain a mystery. Hopefully you guys like that story time. This is my first story time on my channel, actually, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on my post notifications, and be ready for the next time that I post. I'm gonna start trying to post more and being more active and shit, but it's just been hard because I've been trying to get my life together and get my shit together so that I can make some coin, so that I can up my content, and you'll be able to see more of me, chocolate beauty, on the scene, keeping it lean, mean, and clean. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you follow me on all my social medias. It will be in the description as well as at the end of this video, and I'll see you guys next time.